A man asked about Akhenaten being Moses, and they're one and the same person. And a gentleman, Usman, published his studies not too long ago making this claim. Plato also made this similar claim back in the day. I added and I'll pin it in the comments here, where I did a long form video stating how Akhenaten and Moses could not have been the same person. That the Moses story is a compilation of multiple stories, including Sargon the Great for one. Because Sargon supposedly was floated down the river, found by one of the king's baker, and then became king himself, the first emperor. Now, Akhenaten and Moses could not be one and the same because Moses was never a pharaoh. Akhenaten and Moses could never be one and the same because Akhenaten came in the 1300 BCE. He could not have been the brother of Ramses, the adopted brother of Ramses, because Ramses comes about 100 or so years later. So the timing would not have ever worked between him and his issue with Ramses being king, being pharaoh. The story with Akhenaten is that he was either murdered or he did leave and go up and join the Hyksos and became known as Moses, and then took the group of lepers and went across the field of reeds, thereby symbolically splitting the Red Sea. And those are the only similarities. Akhenaten and Moses are trying to be correlated as one being because forever it has always been taught that Moses was the first one to teach monotheism. But in truth, Akhenaten began teaching monotheism prior to anybody else, by going back to the teachings of the Agdo and recognizing that the sun is a symbol of that, and called it the Akten because Akhenaten's real name was Thutmosis the third or fourth, one of those. But all of that is in greater detail in a long form video that I did on YouTube. And I was just giving you guys some of the highlights of why these two could not have been the same person. Just the time frame in itself doesn't match. Him going up and getting lepers doesn't match. People like to say the Hyksos is a possibility because they went up into Canaan. It doesn't match. Also, at the time frame of Akhenaten and Ramses, the Levant was still controlled by Egypt. So he would have left Egypt to go to more Egypt at that time frame. So the story just doesn't work. It is a force because people have a predetermined idea, a predetermined location, so that they can force the biblical narrative into actual history that we can look and see through archaeology. But the long form is there.